possibility for civil society to be here on stage actually as well. My name is Marion Eckardt, and I am the President of the European Leader Association for Rural Development. We are an organization that gather more than 2,500 local action groups from 29 European countries. And I will tell you a little bit about the leader methodology and community-led local development, because not everybody heard of it, because not everybody lives in Europe that are here today. And I want to say that even if we talked about challenges and solutions, challenges today, I think leader and community-led local development is one of the solutions. I've heard it mentioned many times in the workshops during the days, and I'm really happy about it. And what is it? Leader and community-led local development, that is the only EU-wide participative development method at local regional level. It combines technical and social innovation with local knowledge. We promote technological solutions, tolerance and talent. And there are 7 different principles within the leader methodology. One is the local action group, very important, we'll come back to that. Another one is that we do the integrated local development strategy. And the idea behind it is that it is the local actors that together make a strategy that fits for their area. And it is kind of that the local needs and possibilities, they meet the top-down global challenges. And that is why it's so important to have a community-led local development, which means that we have the possibility for the funding throughout the full spectra of global challenges that we have, so that the communities can answer to that. And that is not only from the agricultural fund, for example, in Europe case. The leader methodology has been working now for actually 31 years. Last year we had 30 years anniversary, and the leader methodology fulfills specific functions. And one of them is the democracy and educational policy function, because we enhance democratization because it is the groups affected from the problem on the local level that come together and find a solution and then implement the solution. We generate ideas and use the experience of local people, and that is actually participatory democracy. For example, my local action group, I forgot to say that I'm also a Swedish line manager in southwestern Sweden. In my local action group, we have been working now for 12 years, and we are very successful and have gotten a status to be respected agent or actor in the area. And when our regional government is making new plans, we are often the referral body to put the rural lens on what policy is being made in the region. And also the local action group. It is actually a group of public, private, and voluntary actors that are active in the area. And this is also how you can bring new stakeholders to the table and develop new ideas together. Because not everybody wants to be at the decision table. Therefore, it's also good that the local action groups, they have public funding that they can use to implement their own projects, or they can also make calls for other people to make projects, because not everybody wants to see, be strategic. Some people just want to do business network, or make integration with newly arrived refugees, or develop their bakery, or stuff like that. And that is then also how we involve even more stakeholders in the development of our own area. That is, of course, only possible if it fits in the local development strategy, but if it does, then let all flowers bloom. What else do the local action groups do? We are active in the crisis and transformation management. We saw that in Sweden, and I think in Germany and Austria, Finland, especially when the Syrian refugee crisis started. The local action groups were very quickly moving and on the front lines of the integration work. We saw it also in the pandemic, that the local action groups around Europe were active in helping regarding to the local needs in their specific areas. Some were like organizing volunteers, others were helping out in homeschooling, others were delivering food packages. It was all kinds of stuff where many were doing these support your local projects. And also local action groups play a major role in transforming to greener energy sources in some areas. Then we have the social capital and European political function. Local action groups create jobs, high quality jobs in rural areas, because we have a vast range of projects. It can be destination development, it could be, like I said before, business networks, a lot of things, or startup places. Where we also create jobs where people that are new in the area or already living there can find interesting jobs. We do a lot of different projects around that, and also social inclusion is important, because the local action groups have it as a task to involve groups that normally don't get heard. I think that many local action groups are working with social fund, and I've heard very good examples here in Ireland, how they're working with groups that need more help. And also, of course, we are a family of 2,800 local action groups that can make transnational projects and make Europe smaller and bring us closer together, which is really wonderful. We have also local action group networks on regional level, on national level, and even now on the international level in Elard. And together we amplify the voice of rural Europe, also together with our colleagues. But you can see on Elard's homepage, for example, if you're interested in what we're trying to put out there from rural societies. We have a lot of positions. We did, for example, a survey in 2000, in year 2020, where we got answers from more than 2,500 people from more than 20 different countries about what future they wish in the rural area. And this we could then feed into the long-term vision of rural areas that Europe has now, and also we have fed it into the Conference of the Future of Europe. And now Elard is active also in the Rural Pact, and we are very much looking forward to make reality out of the long-term vision together with other stakeholders. But we are also very active together with Africa and prepare in the European Rural Parliament, like Tom just said. And we had the declaration, we had a meeting, we had a biannual meeting, 65th gathering took place in Kielce just a couple of weeks ago. And we had 400 participants from 39 European countries at the spot. And we had this declaration that we made. And I think this declaration is really exciting because it kind of, we will of course also do a manifesto where we will have a little bit more time to talk to all our partners about what is in it. But in this declaration we have some new points that I am very intrigued about. First, it's about that we are prepared for conflict, we take responsibility for natural environment and also for the energy problem. But I think that the game changer is the ninth point. That is, I will read it. Finally, we cannot continue the economic paradigm of unlimited growth, which brought us to the fragile situation we are in today. We all need to accelerate the process to reach an economic system that lies beyond growth towards a sustainable development model. And I think that's a pretty strong statement coming from rural civil society, because as I heard before that the GDP measures everything that's important. I'm not so sure about it. I think civil society is questioning now this model of economic growth that has served us well, don't get me wrong. I think we are all agreeing on it, but it is a fragile situation, and I guess we all realize that this cannot go on forever, and we're really feeling it now, and now we need to start give you, I was briefed that I was supposed to talk a little bit about why it's important to involve new stakeholders, and I think that is the same answer to why it's important to use the leader CLLP, because why should we invent the wheel new? I think leader and CLLP, of course, because I'm working with it, is a great methodology, and if you do the full application of leader, it enhances the social capital, it improves the local governance, and it enhances the project results compared to non-leader delivery. And I have to, I don't know if Ivona is here, because I took her slides a little bit from this, because what is improvement of social capital? It's very easy to, it sounds like very fluffy words, I think. But for example, if we have 2,800 local action groups around Europe working with rural development, and in each local action group we involve so many people and volunteers to work for rural development, which means that we have tens of thousands of public and private social economic actors in all parts of Europe engaged. We bring, like I said before, Europe closer to the citizens, and then we also bring links, norms and relations between people, which makes it more possible to take risks and make innovations. And then also, especially now in hard times, I think it is so important to have a strong social capital on a local level, because then we can have joint responses, collective learning, networking, and resilience. And also it's important for the EU to invest in. It's important for people to see that the European Union is investing in them. And there is better local governance. It also means that we have more diverse partners included in the decision making. We include young women and less favored groups. The transparency and also that of the decisions is also good with local action groups, and the accessibility of the European funds, because what is not being really counted when we look at the European at the local action groups is that many of the actors that are applying for projects with us, they would not apply anywhere else. It's only possible because there is a local action group office at that area that can help them. And so those are the things. I will not go into this now because it's too little time, but if you are from a country or a region that has not implemented leader or community-led local development, I think I wanted to give you a couple of tips. And that is, you need to follow the method constantly and as a package. There are 7 principles, you need to follow them all. I will tell you if you're interested about it, you just contact me. Or the European Commission, they know also about the 7 principles. We should focus on specific challenges and adapt to the local circumstances and design rules that make it possible to use the methodology. You should not use the leader where it doesn't add value, like for buying tractors. You should use it for human processes. That is where leader is really strong, when you need to gather many people around the table. Stay inclusive and creative and show that leader works, and evaluate and adjust where needed. That's it. Thank you.